This video is about solving a system of equations using a table. So first we're going to start off where we have the equations and we're just going to solve them without the word problem. So the first equation is x plus y equals 9. This equation is going to be represented by the first two columns of our table. So we already have the x numbers numbered from 0 to 9. Those are the possibilities that x could be. So we need to figure out what y would be if x was those numbers. So together these two rows have to equal 9. So if x is 0, y would be 9. If x was 1, y would be 8, because these together would add up to 9. So if we keep going and filling in the rest of the table, we would have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So any row that I pick is going to add up to 9 together. Then the third column is going to represent the second equation, which in this case is 2x minus 3y equals 8. So we are trying to figure out which of these rows is going to equal 8. So what you're going to do is you're going to substitute the values into the equation. So we have 2 times 0 minus 3 times 9. In our calculator, 2 times 0 minus 3 times 9 gets us negative 27. So that's not the number we're looking for. So we're going to try again. 2 times 1 minus 3 times 8. Gets us negative 22. Still not the number we're looking for. So we have 2 times 2 minus 3 times 7. That's going to get us negative 17. Now, if you notice the pattern in the table, so I notice that all of these numbers are increasing by 5, I can stop using the calculator and I can just count up by 5s. So the next row would be negative 12, negative 7, negative 2, 3, 8, 13, and 18. If I want to double check anything, I can always just go back to my calculator. So in this case, we want to figure out what row is equal to 8. Well, that's this row of 7, 2. So our solution is 7, 2. Again, we can double check though. 2 times 7 minus 3 times 2. We want to make sure that gets us 8, which it does. So our solution would be 7, 2. Now let's look at it in the context of a word problem where we're going to have to set up the equations first. So in number 2, Chris and George have been hired to work a total of 11 hours and will be paid $225 for their services. Chris makes $15 an hour and George makes $25 per hour. How many hours did Chris and George work? So the two variables are the people working here and their hours. So we're going to use C for Chris hours and we're going to use G for George hours. Now, they work a total of 11 hours together. So if I take George's hours and Chris's hours and put them together, that's addition. So C plus G equals 11. Then we need an equation for them to make $225. So we know that Chris makes 15 and George makes 25. So we would have 15C plus 25G is equal to $225. So in our table here, we're going to have our people C and G again. Now together, we know they work 11 hours. So we already have Chris's hours filled out from 0 to 11. So George's hours, we have to make sure the numbers add to 11. So if Chris works 0, George works 11. If Chris works 1, George works 10, because these are numbers that are adding to 11 this time. So I can keep going counting backwards. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now, in our third column, we want 15C plus 25G is equal to $225. So in our first row, we would have 15 times 0 plus 25 times 11. We can use our calculator. 15 times 0 plus 25 times 11 gets us 275, which is not what we're looking for. Then we would do 15 times 1 plus 25 times 10. That's going to get us 265. If you notice that the numbers are counting down by tens, you can just keep that pattern going. So we have 255, 245, 235, 225, 215, 205, 195, 185, 175, 165. So just to double check then, we need a row that equals 225, which is 5, 6. So because I didn't put that one in the calculator, I'm just going to double check. 15 times 5 plus 25 times 6. Okay, and that gets us 225. So our solution would be 5, 6. Now, because it's a word problem, we want to answer our question with a sentence to explain what that means. So Chris worked 5 hours and George worked 6 hours. In number 2, the math department ordered sandwiches for lunch. They ordered a total of 12 sandwiches for $65. Turkey sandwiches cost $5 and ham sandwiches cost $6. How many of each type of sandwich did they order? So our two types of sandwiches here are ham and turkey. So I'm going to have H for ham sandwich and T for turkey sandwich. So we know they ordered a total of 12 sandwiches, so we would have H plus T is equal to 12, and they spent $65. Turkey sandwiches are 5, ham sandwiches are 6. So we would have 6H plus 5T is equal to $65. So in the first two columns, we want to equal 12. So I'm going to put H in the first column and T in the second column. So I'm going to start with ham sandwiches and say, oh, they bought all ham sandwiches. So 12 and then count down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way to 0. And then I'm going to add them together. So 12 plus what would get me 12 total sandwiches? So that would mean 0 turkey. If I got 11 ham, I got 1 turkey because together we're still adding to 12. So I notice I can just count up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With a quick check, I can see that every row adds up to 12. So now I want to figure out which row is going to have 6H plus 5T equals 65. So our first row, 6 times 12 plus 5 times 0. 6 times 12 plus 5 times 0 will get us 72. Our next row, 6 times 11 plus 5 times 1 will get us 71. If I notice the numbers are going down by ones, so we would have 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, and 60. We were trying to figure out when the cost is going to equal $65, which is this row. So I can double check. 6 times 5 plus 5 times 7 gets us $65. So our ordered pair here is 5, 7. So they ordered 5 ham and 7 turkey sandwiches. In number 3, the sum of two positive numbers is 12. 2 times the small number plus 4 times the large number is 40. What are the two numbers? So in this case, our variables are the two numbers that we're trying to find, which are large and small. So I'm going to use L for the large number and S for the small number. So in the first sentence, it says the sum of two numbers is 12. So remember, sum is addition. So we have S plus L equals 12. The second sentence gives us a sentence for our equation. So we have 2 times the small number plus 4 times the large number equals 40. What are the two numbers? So large number is going to be the bigger number here. So the biggest number that the large number can be is if we're adding to 12 is going to be 12. And then we can go down from there. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Notice that there's not as many rows as before because I don't want to include the smaller numbers because that's going to change the role of the small and large number. For the small number, we don't want to just reverse and start at 7 because 12 plus 7 would be 19. So I got to think about if my large number is 12, 12 plus what gets me 12? Well, that would be 0. 11 plus what gets me 12? 1. 10 plus what gets me 12? 2, 3, 4, 5. So our equation here then that we are trying to equal is 2s plus 4l equals 40. We want to be careful here. We got to make sure that we're putting the large number in for L and we're putting the small number in for S. So this time it's a little backwards, so pay attention to your variables. So we have 2 times 0 plus 4 times 12. 2 times 0 plus 4 times 12 gets us 48. Our next row, 2 times 1 plus 4 times 11. That's going to get us 46. If I notice they're going down by 2s, I can just continue that pattern, 44, 42, 40, and 38. We want the row that equals 40. So our solution is going to be 8, 4. So in our calculator, I can also double check it though. 2 times 4 plus 4 times 8 gets us 40. So this means the large number is 8 and small number is 4. So let's try another with the large and small number. So in number 3, the sum of two positive numbers is 18. 2 times the large number minus 3 times the small number is 24. What are the two numbers? So again, our variables here are going to be large and small. So L is the large number and S is the small number. So we have two positive numbers. The sum of two positive numbers is 18. So sum is addition again. L plus S equals 18. And then we have 2 times the large number minus the small number is 24. So 2L minus S equals 24. So in our first column with the large and small number, I want to start filling in the large number. So the largest the number could be is 18, and we're going to count down 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. The smallest the number could be then is if the large number is 18, the small number would be 0. If the large number is 17, the small number would be 1, because remember, together we're adding to 18. And then we can keep counting, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can really ignore this last row, though, because that wouldn't make them a large or a small number. That would make them the same number. So I'm going to ignore this last row. Okay, so we want to figure out what numbers give us the 2 large minus the small is 24. So we have 2 times 18 minus S, and we want to see what that equals. So 2 times 18 minus 0 gets us 36. 2 times 17 minus 1 gets us 33. 2 times 16 minus 1 minus 2 So we notice they're counting down by 3, so we can keep going. 27, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12. So if I see that my row that equals 24 is 14, 4, I'm just going to double check that. 2 times 14 minus 4 does get me 24, so my solution is 14, 4. The large number is 14, and small number is 4.